Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video, we are going to do a preparation guide for the upcoming Treasure Map vs Izo, where I will explain my teams, why I use every unit and offer replacements wherever I can. So without further ado, let's get to it. The first mini-boss will be Strength Raizo, and the team I will be using has Treasure Map Legend Hina as captain with a friend captain 6+ Roger. It is extremely important to use Hina as captain even if you do have your own Roger, and the reason for that is the combo with Treasure Map Rare Recruit Tashigi. We want Hina to be captain, so Tashigi actually provides us with a chain boost and chain boundaries, so we can evade the chain debuffs the stage offers. And if you do decide to use Roger as double captain because let's say you don't have Hina or even Tashigi, then with double Roger captain, you have to use probably a chain locker or another unit that provides chain boundaries. Treasure Map Legend Kiku Izo can be a great example. Roger as captain deals with the despair completely, so we don't really need a despair remover if we have a friend captain Roger, but I am using Rare Recruit Q Zoro here just because he has an 1.35 booster and he's also Q. So not really for his despair removal, he can also provide an ore boost if you don't use Hina. Zoro essentially is replaceable by pretty much whatever you want. Then we have Bone Clay as the final unit on the team, so he can deal with the unfavorable slots, make them all matching, and also deal with the hunger. He can do that in two ways. First, because he makes all of your slots RCV anyway, you can consume some of them and then hit the 3 perfects to break the barrier. Or, if you have his limit break ability for hunger high enough, he can completely remove hunger from his limit break ability, and then you can hit all of your perfects to of course break the barrier and defeat the boss. The main reason I also want to anyway use Roger as a crewmate, even though I don't have him captain because of Hina, is because of his point multiplier of course, and also the fact that with 2 special activations from Roger, first of all we do 3 million damage to the mini boss, but we also gain an attack boost and a color affinity boost at the same time. The point multiplier of this team is 5.07. The next mini boss will also be strength, this time it will be Ashura Doji, and this boss is straight up created for the last Treasure Map unit, Wiper. So we are going to use him as double captain. It's also very nice for him to be double captain because his multiplier is at 1.4 times, meaning a higher multiplier for the entire team. And essentially, other than Wiper, we want a unit to remove bind from Wiper, and then we just want damage boosting. So the unit that I will use to remove the bind from Wiper alongside sockets of course is Sanji. He is boosted by 1.35 times, so might as well use him, but of course it's not needed for you to use Sanji if you don't have him. Another bind remover will do. This free-to-play Adio for example, I'm pretty certain will work. He does remove bind and give you a chain boost instead of the attack boost that Sanji can provide. Adio also provides us with a damage reduction shield, but I don't think it will play a role. We want to actually absorb the entirety of the HP cut, but the HP cut is fixed at 75%, so I don't think the damage reduction shield from Adio has any effect here. After our bind remover is activated, Wiper is free. He can now deal with the rest of the debuffs on the stage, meaning he can actually make all of your slots matching and also remove the non-beneficial type slots effect you have. And then, because he will apply damage to the enemy, the interruption will be activated. So 75% of an HP cut will happen, and that means that with Wiper as captain, because we are under 30% of our HP, in the next turn after the boss revives, he will activate his special automatically. Very important. He will also provide us with a color affinity boost, and then other than that, the only other thing you have to do for the team is have Q units and damage boosting units for your total damage. So for example, I am using Demon Robin here to get a conditional attack boost. If you don't have her, of course, you don't need her. Another Q unit or another damage booster will do just fine. And I'm also using Super Tandem free-to-play Luffy, who is also free spirit, hence boosted by Wiper, and he is Q. He can provide you with an attack boost in case you don't have Sanji. After the revive and the automatic activation of Wiper's special, you just attack again with matching slots and defeat Ashura Doji again. You don't need to activate any more specials. extremely simple team if you have Wiper, and the multiplier it has is 6.14 times. The next mini-boss is Strength again, this time it is Denjiro, and the quest is made around Sugar. We got Sugar for free essentially from the Pirate Rumble season, so she's technically a free-to-play unit. We could also super evolve her from the past Kizuna, and we are going to use her as double captain. Something extremely important for this team, as you can see on the left, there are two preemptives. Which preemptive you get depends on what cost units you have on the team. So if you have one character or more that cost 41 or above, then you will get the top preemptive. But if you don't have anyone over the cost of 41, you will get the bottom preemptive. And that's what we aim to do with this team. That's why I am not using any character that costs over 40, as you can see. The recent free-to-play Doflamingo unit, because Sugar is a driven captain, will completely remove the attack down we get, and he will also increase our damage. Then literally every other unit except Doflamingo is not here for utility but only damage. So Smoker costs under 40 and can give us a color affinity boost, then Nekomamushi costs under 40 and can give us an attack boost, and Kid with Low, the free-to-play unit, they cost under 40 and they can give us a chain growth boost and also chain boundaries. And finally we have our captain, the unit that makes everything work, because we activate here, we turn everyone into a toy bear, and then we also activate her super type to get an orb boost. Now the very important thing here is that because we are going to turn everyone into a toy bear, that means that the paralysis that is applied does not matter, and also the blindness that is applied does not matter. And the same goes for the barrier, because Sugar will just bypass it. Toy bears have that ability. Everything will happen automatically after you tap the Sugar unit you activated, and then your toy bears will get the job done. If you want Smoker or Nekomamushi replacements, by the way, just add damage boosters or essentially Q units at the end of the day so they can get super type from Sugar. Just have in mind that if they are over the cost of 41, you are going to get extra debuffs in the preemptive. So if you can avoid that, that would probably be preferable for you. Super easy team to use, and its point multiplier is 4.87 times. The next mini-boss will be Int Kinemon. For this specific mini-boss, I will be using a versus Yamato team with a friend captain Super Sugofest Nami. So two Super Sugofest units, you can have them in the opposite position as well, so you can swap captains essentially, but we do need the friend captain of Nami here so she can deal with resilience and she can also increase our damage. Before we get to that though, a very important unit in this team is the dual unit of Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, and not even for their special, mainly because they can be attached with rare recruit Raizo support, who can reduce the special bind by 2 turns on everyone, meaning that will help Chopper here, Christmas Chopper, completely evade the special bind. Even though we did super evolve Chopper during Christmas, his sailor ability was not increased, only his special, so he can now remove 6 turns of special bind, but he can still only resist 5. The 2 remaining will be removed from Raizo, and then we can activate Chopper to also remove special bind from everyone else, deal with the burn, and reduce attack down. After him, we activate Weevil to remove the remaining attack down, then we activate Yamato to get guaranteed matching slots, which are going to be locked for after the revive as well, then an attack boost and the unique attack boost. Of course, have in mind the attack boost is applied to everyone we are using on this team except Chopper, because he's the only non-striker and also non-free spirit unit on the team. And then you can also activate Yamato's versus ability to get increased damage from the tandem slots, not really necessary though. Then we want to activate Nami to remove resilience and her superclass as well to get a conditional attack boost, meaning now we have lots of damage. We can increase that even more if you activate Sanji, but he is not really important in this team. He is mainly here because he is free spirit and Sai. Then we beat Kinemon, and when he revives, the only unit we want to activate, because we also have a special limit, is Nekomamushi and Inuarashi. We activate Neko, we are on the Sai side, we get an attack boost and a color affinity boost for striker and cerebral units, meaning all of the units on the team except Sanji if you are using him, and then we just attack the enemy again and defeat him. Now for replacements, Sanji with essentially whatever you want and whatever can help you either damage wise or utility wise. Chopper is extremely important, he's essentially a free to play unit now, so you should use him. Raizo is also pretty important on Nekomamushi and Inuarashi. If you don't have the combo of Raizo and the dual unit, you need to find another way to reduce special bind from everyone, either with supports or maybe another special from a unit that completely resists special bind. Weevil is also free to play, but if you don't have him and you can't bother farming him, you can replace him with any other unit that removes more attack down. Chopper removes 5 turns of attack down, so we need 2 more turns. Those can come either from an attack down removing special or support, whatever you please. Yamato can be replaced by essentially a unit that gives you good slots, so they can be locked to matching for both before and after the revive, and you need friend captain Nami to of course remove resilience and gain damage. The point multiplier for this team is 5.07 times. The main boss is Q Oden, and the team I am going to be using is this Carrot Wanda team. I am pretty certain you can also do this and use free to play Oden as your captain instead of Carrot Wanda. Definitely viable, I don't know which option gives more damage, but both can definitely work. Our friend captain can either be the new Whitebeard crew, the Dex unit, or Carrot Wanda. Both of them will do the job just fine. Of course, Whitebeard will provide us with more points, which is the goal. I don't know if a lot of people pulled for him though, so whenever you can find him, use him. Otherwise, double Carrot Wanda or just Carrot Wanda as friend captain will work. We want to enter on Carrot, so we can super swap to Wanda later on. In stage number 2, we want to activate Brook here, so he completely removes the attack down we have, and then we also want to activate this Raid Summer Jinbe twice to remove the damage reduction completely, and by activating him twice, we will also get a conditional attack boost. Brook will also provide us with some matching slots. If you want to, you can super swap to Wanda too, if you need more damage, and the resilience will be dealt with from either Carrot Wanda, because if you are using 2 of them, you want to activate one Wanda, so you gain end of turn damage. If you use the Whitebeard crew, they will provide you with the end of turn damage to deal with the resilience from their captain ability. But if you do use 2 Carrot Wanda, super swap 1 to Wanda, activate Wanda so you get the end of turn damage and also a higher damage output when you attack. The missing unit here, by the way, is the new Treasure Map Izo, I forgot to mention. I am pretty certain immediately when we get him he is usable. In the final stage, what he can do is actually deal with the special reverse and the threshold completely. It is 5 turns of threshold, by the way, it is cut off in the image. Izo can remove 6. Then we have Oden, who can deal with paralysis if you have his double special activation, of course. And then we have Carrot Wanda, who we want to super swap to Wanda and also activate here to deal with defense up, because they can reduce it to 0. And there's no defense down immunity, which is awesome. Carrot Wanda also increases our damage, and of course if you do use the friend captain Newgate, then you want to activate their special and superclass ability in the final stage to increase your damage even more. Activate them after Wanda, so they give you an attack boost instead of an orb boost. This team's multiplier with the friend captain Newgate is 4.68 times, and with the friend Carrot Wanda is 4.18 times. For the Intrusion Battle, it is a bit of a weird one, but I am using a semi-free-to-play team. The only non-free-to-play unit here is Bone Clay, hopefully you have him. I am not certain what can replace him, he can be very useful here, but everyone else is fully free-to-play. Our friend captain will be the new dual unit of Rayleigh and Gaban, and we also want to enter the quest as Gaban. Another important thing before you enter, you want to have maximum despair and bind sockets, and you also need a despair removing support, 1 turn or over, for stage number 2. Here I am using strength free to play Straw Hats on my Brook. In stage number 2, what we want to do is first activate Oden twice here, the new free-to-play unit. He will of course deal with paralysis completely, and he will also boost our damage a bit, especially his own damage as well because of the Wayno slot, and he will manipulate all of the block slots to matching on majority of our units as well. So he is ideal for stage 2. After Oden, you want to super swap Gaban to Rayleigh, so that way you get an attack boost to increase your damage even more and a chain growth boost. Then we proceed to the final stage, where we want to swap Rayleigh back to Gaban, so we are on the deck side of the unit, and at the same time they are going to fully remove Special Bind from themselves. And again we will get the attack boost. We won't get the chain growth boost because it's not a super swap, but that is okay. We don't need it anyway. We will of course activate Gaban, so the Special Bind is removed from every other unit on the team, and we are also going to get an ore boost for everyone. Then you want to activate Brook, who is actually extremely important because he will provide us with end of turn damage, which will deal with the resilience, and he will give us Threshold, which will help us survive the damage that will happen after the boss's defeat. Then we want to activate Rage Summer Jinbe twice to completely remove the damage reduction. You can replace him essentially with any damage reduction remover. Unfortunately, we cannot get his conditional attack boost because the enemy has full immunity. And then to also deal with the attack down under a specific chain, because chain lock and also increasing your chain is interruptible and we do not want that to happen. That is why Bone Clay is important, because by activating him, first of all we get a full board of guaranteed bouncing slots and a base attack boost, which is awesome. We can also turn him into a Q unit to have color advantage and super typing over the Q enemy. And then by activating his super type special, we can get an uninterruptible chain lock for 3.25 times to help us deal with the attack down under a specific chain debuff. After we have activated every other special, we of course want to activate Sugar here, so we turn everyone into a toy bear, and then we attack through the barrier because it is a huge barrier of 10 million HP. We do not want to deal with that. And do not worry, even though Sugar does not get special cooldown reduction in this stage, because we are using a friend captain of Rayleigh Gaban, she will get 2 turns reduced. She will get 7 turns reduced from her special because she is also a boosted unit. She will get 2 turns reduced from our special cooldown reduction sockets, 1 from our ship as well. And with all of that, the preemptives after will be enough for Sugar to get her special to activate in the final stage. Also for the increased damage taken, I am pretty certain that Brook's Threshold will contain it and we won't lose. The point multiplier for this team is 5.05 times. And these are all of my teams for the upcoming Treasure Map vs Izo. If I do optimizations, of course, I will showcase everything in the Treasure Map quick playthrough guide on the day the Treasure Map comes out, so definitely subscribe to not miss out on that. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, definitely leave a like, I would really appreciate it. And as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.